evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Today, Afrozji will be teaching you about
Okay, sir.
topic, I hope.
Yes, sir.
It's a very hotly debated topic currently.
The topic is small countries are puppet in the hand of powerful nations.
Yes. You can agree as well as disagree.
Sir, I just agree this because it's a true fact. Like it's used to happen in our world. As
So
in
you
news
will
also.
say, I'll just correct your
Okay, sir.
usage. You said true fact. So this is a double repetitive adjective. True and fact are almost the same overlapping terms. Don't you agree?
Okay, sir.
So you can say, how will you improve it?
I used to agree with this, or is that correct? Agreed word is correct with it.
No, you can either. The only problem is that it is a repetition of the same adjective.
Okay, so I will say that it's
a fact.
true. It's a fact or it's true. Okay.
So, or you can say it is an obvious fact. It is a bitter but true uh, feature of current times. Something like that. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, you were saying something else also, Khushi.
Sir, I was saying that in news also we use.
First, sorry, Khushi. First, let me know why are you all averse to switching on your video while you are speaking? I keep it on all the time. At least when you are speaking.
Sir, I will on my video, but like
you should switch it on and don't please make excuses that you don't have connectivity.
no, sir, that's not the problem. But there's some work going on in our house, so
there will be a problem with audio, not with the video. When you are speaking, everyone, when you are speaking, at least at that time, you should keep your video on. Okay? This will also help you because you will learn to use your facial expressions also better. This is a very big asset of a good speaker. It's not just the words that you use, but shall I carry on? You're not audible, Khushi. I asked you, shall I carry on?
Yes, sir.
I was telling you, and everybody, please pay attention. When you use your video, you will be giving attention to your facial expression also.
Yes,
that
sir.
is very important to master. Very significant part of your communication skill is not just your language or command over grammar and vocabulary, but how your body language should be very effective. Most important is your face, and in the face also your eyes. So when you are speaking, you should be able to use your facial expressions also according to the message that you are carrying. You will not learn this unless you are aware that your video is on. Okay.
Hello, good evening, sir. Sorry for being late.
No, welcome, Afrozji. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Please take over. They are all eagerly waiting for the speeches they want to make.
Okay, so now you know our topic today is the small countries are puppets in the hands of powerful nations. And we are watching in the present scenario what they are doing. So let's start our chat. First, Pragati, Lovely, Khushi, Gaurav, Ganesh are there. So,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, Pragati, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Today I'm going to speak on the topic small countries are the puppets in the hand of big nations. So, a puppet state is a country that is officially independent but is not so in practice. Puppet governments are usually kept in power by military forces provided by occupying country. A puppet state or puppet government is a state that is independent but completely dependent on outside power and subject to its order. Puppet states have some brotherhood, but a foreign power exercise control like financial interest, economic or military support. By leaving a local government in existence, the outside powers invade all responsibilities. Puppet states are distinguished from allies which choose their actions on their own. A puppet state preserves the external of independence, like name, flag, anthem, constitution, law codes, motto, and government. But in reality, it is an organ of another state which creates, sponsors, or otherwise control the government of puppet state. The
Okay.
puppet government. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, no, you continue.
No, ma'am, that's it.
Okay, very well spoken. But my topic is not on puppet government. I'm asking about the small nations who are being victimized by big powerful nations.
Mom, can I tell the topic in explanation? So, mom, the topic is we have to define the difference or the thing between the small countries or nations and their power, how they are puppet to the bigger, I mean, the powerful countries and nations. So we just have to tell the that scenario and thing that the the powerful country used to make puppets and so to the small country.
Yes, exactly. Yes, Nandini is also there. Khushi, are you ready for on this topic?
Mom, just I'm revising it, so it may take few seconds.
Afrozji, we can't see you. So could you switch on your video?
Okay, sir, let me try.
Will encourage them also. They are all hiding themselves. So I was in fact trying to encourage them to
Yes, sir.
switch their videos on. Thank you.
So today's topic is based on present scenario, as we are seeing too many countries are being crushed by powerful nations by imposing economic bans or in the name of treaties, in the name of military operations. They are just suppressing their economy. So what do you think? It is really is going there, or it is just
Okay. Can I start?
Yes.
Okay. We all know who is the king. King is who have an empire or kingdom, not a small village. Small. Wait a sec. Let me 1 sec.
She, your
Yes,
voice
ma'am.
is audible now.
Yeah.
It's audible now.
Ma'am, can I start again?
Yes.
Yeah, we all know that who is the king. King is who has a whole empire or kingdom, who has the power of military and army, not a small village, panchayat, panchayat and so. You have to say sarpanch. Yeah, sarpanch and so. Both have power, but not the military and support. So, hello everyone, my name is Kushi and today I will speak how the small countries are puppets of big nations. As, for example, a powerful country, USA, has made a small African country, a puppet. Like, just like it's for example, in our country also the kingdoms in the 19th century, the Britishers come to India and just they made us puppets. Like they used to control us by their hand. As they start or start overing our country and just make their rules and East India country to control our India. So we was like a puppet, though who those used to control us. And I guess it's true that a big nation has power, so it can do anything they want. If a small country does not have economy development, technology and army military support, so they can't fight and just make their points clear in front of them. But the bigger and powerful country can, such as USA, China and Russia. And nowadays also we used to see the news headline, Ukraine versus uh, Russia. As we all know, Ukraine is a small country, not a very powerful country, but Russia is a very developed, powerful country who has fourth most largest army in the world. So it's and have powerful weapons and so weapons. So it can be like very powerful and economic country. So he just for a few seconds, for a seconds he can just attack on Ukraine and Ukraine will be finished and just declare and so. So I guess it's a true that bigger and powerful nations used to just made us a small country a puppet. Thank you.
Well, you make one mistake. We was like a puppet. We were like a puppets. When Britishers were in India, we all Indians, all the Indian country, Indian subcontinent was like a puppet.
Okay, mom.
Okay. Now, some more are here. Nandini. Ganesh, are you ready? Gaurav?
No, ma'am. Can I speak after some time?
Okay. Now also there. Lovely. Nandini.
Ma'am, I need some time.
Okay. And Pragati.
Ma'am, I spoke the first time.
Okay. So in the present, since the second word, we are watching such conditions. Whenever some small countries try to survive and to survive on their own conditions, always every time big nations like USA.
Mama, I have some points. Can I add?
Yes.
Mom, even we all know that the powerful country of people are always supported by others, as they know the powerful countries or people will win, other than the small country and small people that have less weapons and powerful things. So it's it's truly based on. Thank you.
Yes.
Now, ma'am, can I speak?
Yes, Gaurav.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, my name is Gaurav, and my view on this topic is, ma'am, as in the current scenario, we have the latest headline that the war is happening. The war is going on between Ukraine and Russia, and this has a very close connection with this topic which we had today. It connects that like Russia is a very powerful country as compared to Ukraine, and as we can see, the all countries are supporting Russia, and even the countries are not supporting Russia unless and until it is very powerful as compared to Ukraine. So we can see the result that Russian soldiers are capturing the Ukraine land more day by day, which results in the great problem for the Ukraine people, and for Ukraine government. And for this Ukraine president, uh, for this Ukraine president trying a lot to resolve the problem, but day by day the situation getting critical, and we can relate this statement through earlier times, like before our independence, Britishers rules over the India. So we can say that not only powerful nation uh, control small nations, like in a similar way, Britishers at that time are powerful. They rule all over the country, so they rule India and rule people of India. That people of India are poor, weak, and they are small nation people. So they rule over us around 300 years. So this statement also connect with that. And at the time of World War, Germany and Japan are countries with having the most puppet states. And in today's time, there are also few puppet states or countries like Czechoslovakia, Poland, which are very small and they are not high economy, powerful military, weapons, technology, etc. And but ma'am, I want to add my opinion that that doesn't mean that small nations are weak, and so that they can always agree to the agree to powerful nations. But yes, reality says that powerful nations always supreme the rule. And like we have the most common example, United States of America is very powerful, and the country have many weapons, advanced technologies, etc., etc. And so at the end, I want to say that yes, powerful countries always rule, and they that small countries or small nations are puppet of powerful nations. Thank you.
Very well spoken. Yes, Adrika. Your
Yes, ma'am.
mic was.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Ready?
Ma'am, just I
Yes.
want 5 minutes.
Okay.
Can I speak?
Nandini, are you ready now?
Mom, can
Yes,
I speak here?
Yeah. Khushi, yes.
Namaskar, sir, and my dear friends. I am Bhagavat. Today, I want to speak on this topic. Yes, I agreed with this point because in about 300 years ago, when Britishers were there, they also make us a fool and make fight between us and rule on us. So they were at that time they have advanced weapon, they have military support, and they were powerful than the Indians, so they rule on us. But in nowadays, on the newspaper headline, we can see that Russia versus Ukraine. In the Ukraine, in 1994, Ukraine have 5,000 nuclear bombs. But in now time, he does not have any one also, because he give all the weapons to the Germany when the Germany was doing fight with the other country. So in nowadays, Russia have many powerful weapons like S-400 and many others. So he can start ruling on the other country. So I agree with this point that the big countries and nations puppet the small countries and nations. And The NATO also do not, the 30 countries of NATO also do not support Ukraine in his time. Thank you.
She well spoken. These countries are just becoming silent spectators and watching the destruction of a country.
Mom, he just said puppet, but we can use making puppet. He says
Puppets. They are enjoying the power. In small
puppets
countries,
is
power.
okay.
Yes. Ganesh, are you ready now?
They are very
Nandini?
playful brother and sister.
Oh, yes. Khushi, Gaurav, and Lavlina.
Mom, me, Bhavya, Gaurav, Gagan, and Lovely, and Nandini also.
Visible today.
So I think no powerful nation will be able to dominate this family. Very good.
Yes. Nandini, if you are ready.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's start.
Good evening, ma'am. My views on today's topic is powerful nation means the developed country who have the strong military and economy like US, Russia, and China. Small countries don't have a strong military and economy. These powerful nations make small countries their puppet, as we see news headlines about Russia and Ukraine. And we know that Russia is very powerful country compared to Ukraine. So every country support Russia, not Ukraine. And yes, it is true that small countries are puppet in the hands of powerful nations, like Pakistan. Firstly, the hands of powerful like Pakistan, firstly it was puppet of America and now of China. And Serbia also is a puppet country of Russia. And there are puppet of powerful nations because of some compulsions. Powerful nation pressurized weak nation or trap them economically, like China do. China is very perfect example for it. China has a debt trap policy in this. In this, China gives a lot of loan to developing or small countries, due to which the small countries become unable to repay the loan, and then China pressurize the countries and borrow their lands or natural resources for many years, like 40 or 50 years, and then those countries become puppet of China. Thank you.
Correct. Very correct, very apt information. Nandini, you provided us. Just China loaned provided loan to Sri Lanka, and now Sri Lanka at the verge of bankruptcy now.
Yes, ma'am.
Even if it sell all the natural resources, even then it won't be possible for this country to repay the loan. And Ganesh,
Yes, ma'am.
now you are ready?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, after some time, can I speak?
Adrika, if you are ready then.
Now till then, can I speak?
Yes, lovely.
Yes. Puppet states are those states whose government is appointed by their affairs. In 1858, British came to India and made India their puppet. During the time of World War II, few countries were conquered. Japan, Germany, Italy are few of them. These states assigned their government as per their affairs, which were loyal to the particular country. Germany and Japan's most of the states were puppet states. These states were independent, but they were not in practice. I agree that
Yes, your voice is disturbed. Audio is getting disturbed. Lovely.
yes, ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, now you are audible.
I agree that small countries are puppet in the hands of powerful nations. As we can see in the current news, Russia has conquered many parts of Ukraine. So I agree with this that small countries are the puppets in the hand of powerful nations. Thank you.
Yes, Very well spoken, lovely. In the last first century, not
Mom,
about
no doubt.
you see,
Mom, everyone is saying state that small state, but we shouldn't use nation or country. So
states, yes,
because
sovereignty, these are not nations, these are states. Because India was a nation, not state, republic, because of lack of sovereignty earlier. It was having our own area, land area, population, and culture, language. But about the sovereignty, if there is no sovereignty, then you can't say a state, it a state.
because a state is a small part of a country where its use have some government and that a country used to handle it like a parliament used to handle our states and so.
Yes. Gagan has also joined us. Gagan to spoken. Now Adrika is remaining.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are ready.
Ma'am, can I start?
Yes.
Small countries are puppets in the hands of powerful nations. Yes,
Adhika, can you
I
switch on your
agree
video,
that.
please?
Yes, yes, sir.
Please don't compel us to remind every time. When you speak, please try to keep your video on. Then we will be able to give you better suggestion.
Okay, sir.
Yes, Adrika, welcome.
Yes, sir. 79 years. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Adrika. Continue.
Yes, sir. 70 years ago, the British were they are not so powerful, but in India that time also were kings and many rulers. They were not a brotherhood in each other. That's why we made us puppets in them. They came only to trees in our India to see here in India that
Your voice is getting disturbed,
they
Adrika. Your
came to
audio
our
is not
India
clear.
because spices and many more things. Now
Voice is
can you hear, ma'am?
yeah.
Ardhika, just switch off your video so it may cause little less network issue.
Okay. Yeah, Adrika, now start.
Yes, ma'am. The British used to come to our India because some nations stopped them to take spices. They have a route from their countries, and they stopped the British rulers to pass them from their country. Then they find the sea route and they come in the India because they eat spices because there is a cold area in Europe. They from British rulers. So they came to India and they find the Indians are not a brotherhood too much, and they are always fight to each other for land or money or etc. That why they are able to make us puppets in under them. Thank you.
Okay. Every time they were in clash with each other. The rulers here, they found them clashing with each other on very petty issues. So they took advantage of these fights and became the ruler of India.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Mom, there was many kingdoms and kings would take the part of British and just shake their hand with them and just used to war with other kingdom and just war and give that to the British for their publicity and so for the friendship reason.
yes.
That's why I'm saying na they have not brotherhood in themselves. They always fight to each other for land or money. They have
Yeah,
always seen they are better and good for themselves.
yeah, I got you.
And still today we can say what they sowed, the seed of partition they left there. After them, they leave there. and then we are still fighting with our neighboring countries.
Yes, ma'am.
Mom, nowadays also we don't used to see the brotherhood.
One India has been divided in 3 countries. So our leaders become the puppets in their hands. And we accepted this, and the consequences, we are still in the fighting with clashing with each other. So their policies, if not by military force, if not by treaties, their policies they are having, they're imposing on small nations, in small countries. They are making themselves as puppets in their hands. Like in earlier in this time, so in Ukraine we are seeing this, but as China is doing with Tibet and Hong Kong, in the name of human rights violation or other things.
Yes, ma'am. I saw that in the news and newspaper.
So even the Dalai Lama has to leave
Mom,
his
also
own
in
country.
Sri Lanka. Mom, also in Sri Lanka also.
For their development, they are providing them loans on high interest rates, and the conditions are that they can use their natural resources in turn. So ultimately, when they have the power of natural on your natural resources and in your policy making, they can easily make you a puppet in their hand. Okay,
And they
Ganesh?
become more powerful.
Yes. Pragati. Rita madam. Welcome, ma'am. Good evening.
Afros, I'm busy doing something else.
Ma'am.
I'm just listening. Devesh
So
will.
last century, there were subcontinent, Indian subcontinent, in African continent. The Britishers were the superpower at that time. So they enjoyed the power and natural resources there, and the results we are seeing in African countries, they are still struggling with the poverty